If you took some of the top experts in education, put them in a room, and said that you have 2 minutes to share your top tip with all the teachers who are out there, you would probably get some really good stuff, right? They would need to pick like just one little thing. What little nugget is really going to move the needle forward for you in whatever area of education they are an expert in. And that is what we've really done for you today. So let's dive into the number one teaching tips from the experts in 2024. Welcome to Educate and Rejuvenate, the podcast to help you revitalize your teaching, renew your spirit, and reignite your passion for life. I'm your host, Kelsey Sorensen, a former teacher, current homeschool mom, published author, and certified life coach. Whether you are a teacher in a traditional classroom, homeschool from your kitchen table, or anywhere in between, I am on a mission to help you not only survive as an educator, but thrive. Get ready to uplevel your skills with incredible insights from guest experts and discover the missing piece, rejuvenating yourself. Are you ready to both educate and rejuvenate? Let's go. I am so excited to start this series again. We did it last year and it was honestly, I think they were our top downloaded episodes of 2023. Everybody loved getting these little bite-sized tips from so many incredible people where you could listen to one episode and get so much inspiration from so many experts. And the reason I do this is because, as you might know, I host a virtual conference each year, and now we actually do it twice a year. It's called Educate and Rejuvenate the Conference, although that's now the name of our whole brand. But we always get such an incredible speaker lineup. Like the talent we are able to get in this event always blows my mind. And the reason I think people say yes is just because of the engagement of the community. They see how engaged the people who come to this event are and the people we bring together, and like attracts like, and we get some really incredible people at the event. But I also want everybody here on the podcast, whether or not they grab a ticket to the event, to benefit from hearing from these amazing people. And I can't do like over 50 interviews. There are over 50 speakers. That would become a full-time job to do it and get all the episodes out there. So instead, what I did is I put together a little survey called a video ask. And then what we did is we took all those clips, and my amazing team member Megan is editing them together for you here on the podcast. So you can just get tip after insight. And likely some of them are really going to stick out to you more than others. And you can pick and be, okay, I'm really going to focus on that one, or I'm going to focus on that one. But you're going to just feel so inspired by the end of this episode. And honestly, let me tell you, these are their best tips. They brought their A game because they only had 2 minutes. It was really, what would they share with you? They only have 2 minutes. It's like a TED Talk where they get that short amount of time and they have to take out all the extra and really just be like, what is one little quick thing I need to share? And I think that's why these episodes did so well last year. So I'm excited to do that again. But without further ado, it's all about them and what they have to share and not me. So let's dive into their tips.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Bodkin, and my top tip, regardless of whether you're a classroom teacher or a homeschool parent, is to invest in relationship. That is what makes all the difference. And for my ask, I would ask that you would go to my website, amybodkin.com, and please check out my book, Special Needs Kids Are People Too. There is a free chapter on the website for you to read, because that is what my book is all about, investing in relationships.
So this is actually my second year presenting at Educate and Rejuvenate, and it's just such a fantastic event. I know I had a lot of fun last year with the roundtable discussions and checking out all the other presentations. And it's just a great opportunity to learn about new things. For you, that might be learning about hyperlexia for the first time. So it's just a really great event for both teachers and homeschoolers. So I hope you go check it out.
Hey, I'm Shanti, and I help busy preschool and toddler parents and teachers make learning fun while keeping it simple. And that happens to be my number one tip to all teachers and parents: keep it simple. I'm referring to what you teach your child, how you teach your child, how to manage your time, how to get things done, right? Anything that's related to you or your child, when you keep things simple, it creates this inner calmness and peace in knowing exactly what's expected and what's coming next. we avoid things like burnout, anxiety, stress, and all those other things that we don't need. So keep it simple. I hope that helps. If you want to connect with me, you can always find me on the Preschool Made Easy podcast, and that's in Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all the other ways that you can listen to podcasts. Thanks.
Hi there, my name is Charlotte Jones, and I'm a podcaster, a speaker, and a coach. And you can find me at My Little Homeschool and the Strike a Balance podcast for working homeschool moms. Today, I have a tip for homeschool moms and working homeschool moms. But first of all, tell me if you can relate. Is every single day full to the brim with tons of activities? Do you feel like things are piling on, that things fall through the cracks, that you're saying yes to things that you don't want to do, that there's no time for self-care, that you end your day feeling exhausted and depleted? If you can relate to any of these, then I have a simple and powerful tool that's going to start to help you overcome this. And that is to do a time audit. When you do a time audit, you note how you spend your time for 3 to 5 days, and it just gives you so much information, and it helps you to start being more intentional about how you spend your precious, precious time. So I'll just use myself as an example so you can see what it looks like in practice. I saw that I was spending 2 hours, 7 to 9, mindlessly scrolling at the end of the day on Instagram or whatever it was. And I couldn't fall asleep. I couldn't switch off, and I didn't sleep well. And so from that information, I decided to switch off my phone at 7. So now I read and I feel much calmer. I fall asleep much easier, and I feel rested when I wake up in the morning. So I'd love to offer you a time audit that you can use to track your time, and then it'll also help you to start categorizing your activities, and you can start doing more of what you want to do and less of what you don't.
Hello. This is Dana Rodebush from Teacher Tech Studio, and my top teaching tip is to make sure that you are putting an emphasis on building math-backed fluency from the very, very beginning. It is so super important, and I say all the time that math is completely changed whenever students know their math facts by memory. So if you would love to hear more about math-backed fluency and all math things in general, upper elementary, I invite you to check out my podcast, Upper Elementary Simplified, or you can check out my website, teachertechstudio.com, to see everything that I have to offer. Have a great day.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eric Kelly. I am a 7th grade English teacher at Wonder Junior High School in West Memphis, Arkansas, and I am very excited to be joining you for the Educate and Rejuvenate Conference. This is my first experience in the conference, and it's a very unique experience for me in that I am actually a public school teacher, but I'll be speaking to you in the homeschool track of it. My top tip for homeschoolers is this: locate the single parents in your homeschool co-op and ask them what their biggest challenges are related to homeschooling as a single parent. My topic will be educating the children of homeschoolers. And I originally wrote this presentation as a public school teacher and as a former single parent. But as I've researched this, I've found that there are many items of information in this topic that will help you as homeschool parents as well. This is my call to action. Follow me on Facebook at Eric Kelly. It's EricKelley, and follow my professional page, Biz of Teaching, BizofTeaching. And tell me your own tips. Tell me what you're seeing in the realm of single parents who are homeschooling. I can't wait to get to know you better.
I hate writing essays. Does that sound familiar? Hey there, I'm Francini Estes, a life coach for teachers and moms of neurodivergent children. So if you're struggling to foster intrinsic motivation in your child or student, Here it is, a proven tip to help you out. Connect before correct. This approach has been effective in many situations, and I'm confident it can work for you too. So for instance, if your student finds a challenging to begin writing an essay, begin by saying, hey, I notice that you are finding it tough to start your essay. What's on your mind? Then listen actively and without judgment. Try to understand and support their perspective. What is the root cause of it? Do they want to write, but they struggle coming up with ideas, or they struggle with spelling or grammar? Acknowledge their feelings. Acknowledging their feelings, listening actively without judgment, identifying the root cause of the problem, and working together to overcome it will help foster intrinsic motivation in them. So would you like to learn more about instilling intrinsic motivation in your students? Join Educate Rejuvenate 2024. And I will share all the tricks and tips I have used with my students and children. This event could be a game changer for you and your students, providing with tools and knowledge to make a huge difference in your lives.
A note from our sponsor. Writing and implementing an effective IEP just got a lot easier. With the Intentional IEP, you can finally ditch the stress, frustration, and overwhelm of IEPs for good. We help teachers and educators save time and improve outcomes for kids through writing better, more effective, more efficient IEPs. Come see how we can help you at theintentionaliep.com.
Hi, I am Gina Prosh, author of Joy, You Find What You Look For, and Hope, More Than Wishful Thinking, 2 children's books from Boys Town Press. I also co-hosted the Only Schoolers podcast about homeschooling only kids. I homeschooled my only kiddo from K through 12, and here is my best tip for parents, particularly homeschool parents. Watch your face. Now, I got this piece of advice from a longtime homeschool mom who said that your face does not lie. So if you're sitting there at the table working on math, the unibrow and the RBF are going to show your truth. So if you're saying it's all good, but your face says it's all bad, your kids are going to believe your face. Today, when I work with homeschool parents, I remind them that it is about pulling up your own socks, getting your act together. If you can't consciously control your face, take a moment, take a deep breath, take a walk, and begin again, because building that relationship with your kid is way more important than any subject that you might be teaching. I invite you to pop over to Substack and join my mailing list there, ginaproshwrites.com. That is www.gina, G-I-N-A, Prosh, P as in peanut, R-O-S-C-H, WRITES.com. And you can follow me on all the socials. Just look for the handle Gina Prosh Writes. Thanks so much. Watch your face.
Hi, I'm Maria Golden from Growing in Literacy, where I educate and empower parents of young preschool children in supporting their child's reading development through play-based learning. And my tip for you today is to answer the thousands of questions that you may get from your little one each day. And I say to answer them because when you answer those questions, there's a few things that you are doing. You are promoting their vocabulary growth. You're promoting their the information that they have by answering these questions. You are promoting their curiosity as a learner and as a person. And you're also building a relationship with your child when you're having these conversations and taking time out of your busy day to answer their questions. Now, I know this is not always possible. I have 3 little ones at home, and sometimes the questions are so overwhelming that I just can't answer them. But whenever possible, please do have conversations with your child, encourage them to ask questions, and then respond in the best way that you can as answers to those questions. Now, if you want to know more about me and what I do, you can find me on Facebook or on Instagram at Growing in Literacy. And from there, you can sign up to receive my free preschool reading activity guide, which has 7 days of really fun reading activities that you can use with your child. So 7 days of activities to help your child learn their letters and letter sounds.
Hi, this is Amanda from homeschoolfamilylegacy.com, and I'm talking to all the homeschool mamas out there. I wanted to share my biggest tip because it has been a lifesaver for me as a mom of 4 boys, working from home on my own business. And my top tip is to do a brain dump. If you've never done a brain dump before, you're like, oh, I've tried that. Brain dumps don't really work for me. Well, I have an entire process that I'm going to be teaching at Educate and Rejuvenate to help you create your homeschool routine that, guess what, starts with a brain dump. So a brain dump, basically, I like to describe it as you're taking your purse and you're emptying all the contents of your purse onto the table. But instead of it being your purse, it's your brain, and you're emptying all the contents of your brain onto a piece of paper. Because as homeschool moms, we carry so much in our minds. And what ends up happening is when we're carrying too much up here, we're less available emotionally for our family. And we can get snippy or we can give up easily when we simply got out what was in our brain onto a clean, crisp, untainted piece of paper that is away from our emotions. We could show up as the moms we really want to. So that's my top tip. If you're feeling a little like messy up here, do a brain dump right away. And if you want to have a little bit more help with clearing the mental clutter and planning your homeschool year, I want you to join me at my live event, Plan Your Homeschool Year Like a Boss. And you can sign up for free at homeschoolfamilyllegacy.com/planlikeaboss24.
Hey, mama friend, Katie Hedrick here. I'm the host of the Joy at Home podcast. I'm also a Midwest homeschool mom of 3. And so for the summit coming up, for the Educate and Rejuvenate summit that's coming up, I'm actually going to be talking about our family's journey of transitioning from public school to homeschool and sharing that change, that journey doesn't actually have to be scary. So join me for my talk. I'll be sharing all about how I stayed stuck in fear for a really long time, even though God was knocking on the door of my heart to make the jump and to take the leap of faith. I continue to stay stuck in fear. Where do I start? What curriculum do I use? And all the things. And then we finally made the jump, and it has been so good. So join me for my talk. We'll talk about that journey. We'll talk about the 3 simple steps that your family can utilize to move from public school into homeschool. And also, if you want to head over to teachme2homeschool.com, you can download my free curriculum guide over there. And inside of that free guide download, I have included my top 10 picks for homeschool curriculum. So we can bust right through one of your fears right off the bat, get you started on some great picks for curriculum for your family. I'll meet you over there.
Hello, my name is Kelsey Thomas, and I will be presenting on self-care. And my number 1 tip is to schedule at least 3 hours each week into your week to take care of yourself, whether that be working out, taking a nap, enjoying some fresh air outside, meal prepping, whatever it may look like. Schedule at least 3 hours.
Hi, I'm Linda Cardamus from Teach for the Heart, and my top tip for teachers is to create a classroom management plan. So many times one of the reasons why we have so many trouble with classroom issues. There's a lot of reasons, but when we're not consistent in our discipline, the line really isn't clear for students. And so that makes it really, really hard to hold the line, right? So having a classroom management plan is so valuable if you know exactly what you're going to say and what you're going to do when students misbehave. Then you're able to be really consistent. You're able to, and that really helps to build respect and get students paying attention and focusing rather than causing all these disruptions. And we have a free training that goes into this in a whole lot of detail and shows you how to do it and why it works. So you can check that out at teachfortheheart.com/free. That's theheart.com/free. I hope to also see you at Educate and Rejuvenate, where I'm going to be talking about some ways to take worksheets and turn them into more engaging activities.
Hi there, I'm Jen from Teach Love Autism, and my tip that I'm going to share with you is if you're sick and tired of printing worksheets, printing materials over and over again, because you want to give your students or learners more practice, the best thing you can invest in is one of these little pocket charts. You can stick the worksheet right inside of it, and then they can use a dry erase marker on the worksheet to be able to complete it, erase it, and do it again. And the best is you can put anything inside here that you want the students to write on. So if you have not invested in these dry erase pockets, I highly recommend. And if you would love to connect with me more, you can find me on Instagram. My handle is Teach Love Autism. Bye.
Amy from Teaching in Blue Jeans here. And let me tell you that a summer teachers conference is one of my most favorite things. There's nothing quite like getting inspired and challenged by other educators, learning and growing both professionally and personally, and also connecting with other people that are like-minded. And that's exactly what you can do at Educate and Rejuvenate 2024. So don't write yourself a note. Don't say you'll do it later. Instead, take just a couple minutes right now and jump over and grab your ticket and save your spot for Educate and Rejuvenate. And I can't wait to see you there.
Hey teachers, I'm Mary and Shannon from the Reading Teachers Lounge. So good to see you. Here's our top tip for you as the school year is ending. As the school year winds down, what we do is typically take this time to reflect on what worked well for us and where we want to improve for next year. So while all of this information is fresh in your mind, why don't you take out a sheet of paper and write a note for yourself right now so you can open it and read it during pre-planning. Highlight your wins and student successes, and also remind yourself of your growth goals for next year. Bonus, you can have the students do the same thing. If you're staying at the same school, you could deliver all the notes to the students' new teachers during pre-planning, and the teachers could hand them out at the first days of school.
Our mission at the Reading Teachers Lounge is to arm teachers with confidence and tools that they need to develop their student learning.
Whether you're a new teacher seeking guidance, a seasoned pro looking for fresh ideas, or a curious parent, our community offers something for everyone. So grab your favorite cup of coffee or tea, cozy up in the virtual lounge with us, and eavesdrop on our professional conversations. You can find us online at readingteacherslounge.com, on all the social media channels at Reading Teachers Lounge, and on your favorite podcast app.
Wasn't that incredible? So many tips from so many amazing educators. And I bet you really resonated with some of the people. And if so, make sure to follow them and be sure to stick around here and Educate and Rejuvenate the podcast too, because we always bring in people like this. But if there are any specific people who you're like, I want to follow them or I want to grab their freebie, we link to all of them in the show notes of this episode. Now that means you'll need to click through the link that's educateandrejuvenate.com to take you to the page for this podcast. It's way too many links to put in just the episode description that will be on like Apple or Spotify or YouTube. So make sure to click through to the Educate and Rejuvenate website to get those links for all the presenters. And while you're there, I would really love if you want to join us at the Educate and Rejuvenate event that is happening this month. If you got this far in this episode and love these just little tidbits from all these people, you're going to want to hear more from them, right? And it's really all about the people. As you can see, we've got such incredible people who are at this event. Not only the speakers, though, but the people who are attracted to and buy a ticket to this type of event. Like I mentioned in the beginning, like attracts like. And if you're buying a ticket to an event that's not only professional development, but really has that personal development and comedy, and really not only learning how to uplevel yourself as an educator, but rejuvenate yourself too, the chat is full of those type of people, and it's always on fire, and people are connecting and even making friends. It's almost like the energy of an in-person event at a virtual event. I really don't want you to miss it. We only do this event twice a year, and winter is going to look a little different. So the summer one, once a year. Don't want you to miss it. Really want you to be there, and it's happening soon. Go to educateandrejuvenate.com/conference to learn more. The event is July 16th and 17th is when it's happening live. You'll have access to the replays until the end of the month with a general admission ticket. And if you're listening after July of 2024, watch for the next one. And also, we always have the replays available for the previous one. But if it's on the replay, you pay $97 to get the Platinum Pass, which gets you access to all the replays for an extended amount of time. But if you want to just come to the event, come live, like it's less than takeout for your family. So again, make sure to come. It's going to be a great time, and I hope to see you there. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you're hungry for more, be sure to check out the book that I wrote. It's called Educate and Rejuvenate, a 3-step guide to revitalize your teaching, renew your spirit, and reignite your passion for life. It is scheduled to be released in the summer of 2024. This book takes all the life coaching skills we talk about here on the podcast and puts them together in one easy to understand guide. Plus, when you pre-order, you'll receive a PDF workbook and additional resources to deepen your understanding and application of the concepts we've covered on the book and on this podcast. You won't find these resources anywhere else. Visit the link in the show notes to join the waitlist and be the first to know when the book becomes available for pre-order. Let's continue this journey of growth and rejuvenation together. Until next time.